I'll tell you a true story about him. And this is how God used him. He was an imperfect person, had defects, which he would quickly tell you about. But he was desperate to hear from God. So he was making an overseas trip. He told me one day, I'll never forget this. I was eating lunch. It was the craziest lunch I had ever had in my life. And he says, yeah, Jim, did you ever think you heard from God and totally missed it? I said, yeah. He says, I said, why you ask? He said, I was making a trip to Poland. And good friends of mine who I introduced him to were the interpreters. So he says, I was digging around and, getting sermons for it. And I went in the Old Testament, and Brother Dave would read a lot in the Old Testament. And he said, I got this message, and I was preaching it from, the men are supposed to appear 3 times a year, all the men in Israel. They're supposed to come to the feast in Jerusalem, and they never should come empty-handed. So he said, I got this sermon. Don't come into God's presence just empty-handed. You should have something for God. And he said, I worked it out. I thought it was right. So he said, I get up to preach. And I confirmed this with the interpreter. It's absolutely true, although you're not going to believe it. So he gets up to preach, and he's preaching, and he preaches for about 20 minutes. And he says, I'm preaching, and I'm troubled in my spirit as I'm preaching. So I just stop as I'm preaching, but in my heart. And the Lord speaks to me and says, that's totally wrong. Everything you've said for 20 minutes is wrong. Stop and tell the people you're wrong. And tell them they don't need to bring anything. Let them just come the way they are. With their sins, with their weakness, with everything messed up. They don't have to fix anything. So I said, what? He said, yep, that's what God did. Did you ever hear him tell that about that? Yeah. So he turned to the interpreter and he said, don't be afraid. Say what I say. So I'm telling you the truth. So Paul Chesler said to the people interpreting, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, God has just talked to me. Everything I've been saying has been wrong. So forget it. You don't have to bring anything. Just delete everything I said for the last 20 minutes. You come right now because he loves you so much. You just don't bring anything. You come right now. You come right now with nothing but your mess. Just bring your mess. You don't have to fix anything. And Brother Chesler told me that people started like running.